Do you know of a stellar leader or an outstanding organization that deserves a proper shout-out? Nominate them for IBJ's awards. From 40 in their 40s and Women of Influence to Nonprofit and Healthcare Excellence Awards, we're celebrating rising stars, seasoned leaders, and organizations making a difference. Discover which programs are accepting nominations now at ibj.com/nominate.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Thursday, September 11, 2025. I'm Gary Dick. Throughout the state of Indiana, a group of value chain professionals is working to bring farm fresh foods to schools, restaurants, and other locations. Farmwise Indiana aims to connect farmers and food producers with institutional buyers, says Farmwise founder Jody Smith.
Farmers don't have a lot of time. Buyers don't have a lot of time. And there's a lot of coordination and conversations and relationship building that needs to happen before that transaction can occur, and even throughout those transaction cycles. And so the reason we need value chain professionals is they build those bridges and they build those opportunities for farmers to realize more of these markets.
The town of Whitestown and the Boone County Economic Development Corporation have announced that Ring Container Technologies, a player in the packaging manufacturing industry, has chosen Whitestown for a major expansion. The company says it will make a $77 million investment that includes approximately $8 million in real property improvements and more than 50 jobs. Lake County is the latest in a growing number of communities looking to offset an expected drop in revenue from the passage of Senate Enrolled Act 1 earlier this year. Our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana report the Lake County Council voted unanimously this week to approve a partial hiring freeze. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. East Central Indiana is on the move, and the next big conversation is happening in Muncie. Join us for Innovate East Central Indiana at Ball State University, September 17th. A powerful afternoon of ideas, innovation, and insight, part of the Innovate Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. We're talking talent, technology, and transformation, and what's next for the region. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate. The nonprofit Indiana Health Information Exchange is in the early stages of developing an emergency electronic medical record system.
The system is being created for the state's hospitals and other health organizations to implement in the case of a compromising cyber attack. The aptly named Emergency Downtime Solution is designed to allow healthcare providers to access clinical information such as lab results, medication lists, and patient histories even when their systems are down. The Indiana Health Information Exchange helps physicians and other care providers access patients' data even though it is with another hospital or organization. The new tool is a bit like a backup generator, designed to kick on when the medical record system goes down. Vice President for Business and Product Development Drew Richardson said there is a nominal fee for the emergency downtime solution to set up the backup and additional fees if it is activated. He said the service is expected to be active in about a month. The Indianapolis-based exchange is a statewide health information network that provides a platform to connect 123 hospitals from 38 health systems, as well as more than 54,000 healthcare providers, including physician offices, clinics, and others. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Fort Wayne-based Do It Best Corporation is celebrating 80 years in business this month. As it closed out its 2025 fiscal year, the co-op reported consolidated gross sales of nearly $5 billion. Do It Best said the performance driven largely by its nearly $200 million acquisition of True Value Company that was completed late last year. The deal expanded the company's network to nearly 9,000 independently owned home improvement businesses. The president of Martin University in Indianapolis is planning to step down in late November. While specific details on the reason for Sean Huddleston's departure were not immediately announced, the university says the move is voluntary, well-earned, and comes with the full support and gratitude of the Martin Board of Trustees. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Off the Record with Indiana's 250 most influential business and community leaders is a podcast that peels back the curtain on Indiana's most respected leaders, one episode at a time. Go beyond the headlines and hear the stories of grit and innovation that shape these leaders. Do you want to know who's driving our state forward? This is a must listen. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts or at ibjpodcast.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.